Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we want to talk about conditional statements. So first, let's open our server. It's already on, and I'll go to my text editor. Like you see, I have a couple of variables up here. We will use them inside our conditional statement. So the first type we want to talk about is the if with one condition. So parentheses, then brackets, and I write my condition inside the parentheses right here, and I will write my block of code that I want to execute if the condition is true between the brackets right here. So let's comment here, code to be executed if condition is true. So the condition have to be true, of course. So let's go inside the condition and use some comparison operators to compare between the x and a. So let's say, for example, x bigger than a. So I want to check if x is bigger. We studied this sign, of course, this comparison operator. It checks if x is bigger than a. So if it is true, x is bigger than a, it will execute whatever code is inside here. Okay, so let's say, for example, let's echo x is bigger than a. Okay, let's save this and go to our browser, localhost. So like you see, it says x is bigger than a. Okay, so let's go back to our text editor. The PHP came and checked this condition right here and found that it is true. X is bigger, x is 20, and a is 15. Okay, so it executed this line of code inside here. Okay, if the condition was not true, let's say x is 10, so now the condition is not true because a is 15. So let's see what happens. Refresh, and I get nothing now because the condition is not true. So PHP did not execute the block of code inside the brackets. Let's go back to our text editor, and inside the text editor we want to talk about one more thing, which is the else. So like we seen a second ago, if the condition is not true in the if condition, nothing will happen. So I need, what if I want something to happen? I can add else after the bracket of the if condition, and then open bracket for the else also. Okay, so here I will put the code to be executed if the condition is false. Okay, so if the condition is not true, like right now, because x is now not bigger than a, x is 10 and a is 15, so a is bigger. So right now the condition is false, so it will execute this else. Okay, let's say for example, the condition is false. Okay, so let's go to our text editor or our browser, refresh, and now it says the condition is false. Okay, so it did the else, it didn't do the if. Let's go back to our text editor. So this is how I add or create a conditional statement. In this conditional statement now I have only one condition, okay, or one case that if it did happen, I will do this line of code here. Okay, if the condition is true, and if not, if it's false, I will do this line of code here. So what if I want to check multiple conditions? I don't want to just check one condition. I don't want to just check if x is bigger than a. Okay, let's say I want to check, for example, if x is equal to a. So we say else if. Okay, else if, and then parentheses. The else if also have parentheses, so the only one that doesn't have parentheses is the else, because this one will be executed if all the conditions are wrong. Okay, so it will check all conditions. If everything is wrong, it will execute this else. But the else if is just like the if, it depends on a specific condition. So I will say, for example, let's copy this and say we want it to show up, so actually we'll do something like this, not equal. Okay, like we talked in comparison operators. If you're confused of any of these operators, you can go back to that lesson to check what we said. So the else if will come after the if, okay, after the bracket, and then it will have parentheses, so it will have its own condition, and then it will have brackets just like the if and just like the else. Okay, so each one have a bracket of its own, and the code will be placed inside the brackets. So inside here, this one also code to be executed if condition is true, but not this condition, of course, is this condition. So this one have its own condition. Okay, so here let's say this is else if. Okay, so right now we're checking if the x is not equal to a, which is true because x is 10 and a is 15, so it's not equal. So we're supposed to get this right here. Okay, so save, go to our browser, refresh, and it says this is else if. Okay, so let's go back to our text editor, and now we've seen if and else if and else. One last thing people always confuse is the spacing between the stuff. It does not matter. I can actually put it like this. You see? So each block is by itself like this. Or I can add them up with each other like this. Or I can even add them up even more. Okay, put it all in one line. But if I take my code out, so this here, it will work as one line. Okay, so take this code out, and like this I can put it all together. So take this code out, but of course like this it's not read easy by humans. So for the PHP it does not matter, but by us we cannot read it easily, so nobody really do it like this. So we will just have spaces like so, for example, or anything, any way that you like, but it does not matter. You are not compelled to do it in a specific way. Okay, let's save this, and actually this is everything we want to talk about in this lesson, and we have still one way to create conditional statements, which we will talk about it in the next video. So see you there.